Welcome back. There you go, Moobot. I knew you were coming. I saw you coming. Alright, sorry, what did I miss there? Hope they fixed experimental gameplay on Switch. It stops saying when I save and quit, it just freezes. Oh. That's a problem. No coffee? No coffee, no. This is some carbonated spring water with some ice cubes and a little bit of little squeeze of lemon juice. Trying to not go too overboard with the coffee intake at the moment because I'm on a keto diet. And while caffeine is not against the rules, too much caffeine can slow down the effects of said diet. Just trying to drop all the extra weight I put back on again over the last year. So I'm trying the keto thing, which I'm in, I think this is day 6. And I've started to notice the weight coming off, which is in line with what many people say happens. You get quite rapid weight loss at first because it's dropping a lot of water weight and things like that, and then fat starts to burn. And yeah, apparently the results initially are quite rapid for a little bit, and I've started to see it already, which is encouraging. Yeah, the first few days of keto diet are a bit rough. After about day 3 or so, you get the keto flu, they call it, whereas your body adjusts from using carbs, and your, all your gut bacteria that are used to digesting carbohydrates start dying off because you're not eating any carbs, and your body's not quite ready or ramped up to process fat as a primary fuel source yet. So you get all weak and woozy and dizzy and grouchy, and yeah, it's a bit rough, but hopefully the results will be worth that suffering. It's certainly an easier diet to stick to than many, because you get to eat shit like cheese and cream and pork rinds and steak, pork chops, and because it's all about high fat, moderate protein kind of deal, with no avoiding as much sugar as you can, and no carbs, which means no pizza, because the bread, which is unfortunate. But I do get to have a crap load of eggs and steak and pork chops, and so it's not quite as boring or restrictive as the last calorie restricted diet I put myself on, which was just basically mostly it was chicken breast and rice for protein and carbs, and that worked, but it wasn't I didn't get sort of keto flu or anything from that because it's not keto, but it was quite easy to stick to because I love chicken and rice. But it did get a bit boring. I can even have a bit of chocolate on keto as well. Sometimes I stick to the sort of 90% cacao dark chocolate, which I love anyway. So I have a little piece of that at night for a little bit of dessert treat. Is that the way we eat meat and cheese? Yeah, pretty much. And I'm having cream in my coffee instead of milk. Having lots of butter and coconut oil and avocado is highly recommended on the keto diet because it's full of good tasty nutrients, and also quite high in the good kind of fat as well. So yeah, avocado and guacamole and good. It's not nearly as difficult to stick to a diet where you get to eat all that kind of tasty stuff. But I do miss bread. And I do miss, like, because it's so hot in Sydney at the moment, I've got a real craving for things like mango sorbet, and sort of that's off the table. Way too much sugar in a mango sorbet. I can have limited amounts of, small amounts of berries. Most nuts are pretty good. And relatively controlled and limited nightshade style things like tomatoes and bell peppers and things like that. You can have some of that, but not too much. And lots and lots of leafy greens. Basically, any vegetable that grows above ground is usually keto okay. Anything that grows below ground is usually full of starch and not good. And carbohydrates are not good for keto. So I've been having lots of baked asparagus with cheese sauce and things like that on it, which is really nice. They didn't have any asparagus at the shops today, though, so I got some kale instead. No, wait, not kale. I got baby bok choy. I wound up getting. And I haven't had bok choy in ages. I'm gonna have it tonight, though. Yeah, that looks about right. Zoop. Avocado, huh? Getting a taste of millennial lifestyle. I liked avocados before millennials were even a thing. Fuck you. I'm a avocado hipster. I liked them before they were cool. You have no idea how much guacamole I've consumed in my life. The good thing about avocado and, guacamole and things like that is it goes with basically everything. You can have it as a side dish with pretty much any dish. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, any kind of meat, almost any kind of vegetable pairs up really nicely with. Avocado is amazing stuff. And I don't know whether this is true or not. I always keep forgetting to look it up. But I heard once that avocado is the only food on the planet that you could survive long term on only eating it. Like anything else would leave you with a nutritional deficiency of some kind if you just ate one kind of food. But apparently avocado has everything you need. And you could survive off it if you really, really had to. Ponties are hip dead. Never had any form of... You've never had avocado of any kind before? Not even guacamole with chili? Or with nachos? Oh man, you gotta try it. It's tasty. Tasty as hell. So it's soft and sweet and just has this lush texture to it. Oh, it's so good. I've never had avocado in my life. You too! How do you even avoid it? Have you never had Mexican? Oh, you just kidding? Right, okay. Oh, wait. No, wait. What? That's crazy. How can you never... It's like never having eggs. Or never having a piece of toast. That's weird. I can't imagine going through life and not having avocado. I mean, huh. It's a part of so many different kinds of sandwiches, and I've had avocado and regret every moment. You don't like avocado, or are you allergic? Because I think there is something in avocado that's very, very few people are like allergic to, right? Some kind of protein. Never thought I would like it, so never tried it. Oh wow! No, you gotta try it. That's a dumb way to live. Oh, I don't think I'd like that. Don't want to try that. Try it. Worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario for trying a food you think you might like is you go, ooh, never trying that again. That's the worst possible outcome. Unless, of course, you have an allergic reaction, but that's unlikely. Why wouldn't you try anything? Why wouldn't you? There is just, you know, the only downside, the only possible downside is like 30 seconds of ugh, ugh, ugh. And then you never have to think about it for the rest of your life. But if you try everything, you find so many things you might like and enjoy, and I don't get that attitude. I don't get it. You're a sociopath. Avocado and turkey. I don't know if I've ever had avocado and turkey together. I've had avocado and chicken together many times, and that's fucking amazing. We try the cake or death. Usually, but there are better options on the menu. Yeah, I can see that happening. If there's something on the menu you know you love versus something you might like, I can see being, you know, risk averse and just getting what you know you already like. But I've always, well, not always actually. As a kid, I was a bit finicky sometimes, but we all grow out of that, hopefully. But no, in all my adult life, I've tried as many different foods as I came across. I don't know if I could name anything that I've refused to eat when offered, you know. Even when I was in China, I've told this story a few times on stream. When I was in China, I had silkworm larvae, had that shark fin soup stuff, bird's nest soup, which is literally made from a special kind of bird's nest that they build out of their own saliva. That's a weird thing to think about when you're enjoying your soup. This is bird spit. It's made from bird spit. It's tasty though. I've had pineapple pizza plenty of times in my life. No, you know, when I say pineapple pizza is a food crime, I speak from personal experience. When I was growing up, was it my sister or my mother? Someone in the family loved it, so we'd always get like half and half or something or other, and it'd always inevitably just ugh. Don't even want to think about it. Pineapple pizza is not the best pizza. Pepperoni pizza is the best pizza. Simple, elegant, flavorful. Only one thing I refuse to eat: chicken's feet. I've never had the opportunity to try chicken's feet, but yeah, I might refuse that. Doesn't seem like there'd be much worth it on a chicken foot. There can't be that much meat. It's mostly skin, gristle, and bone. I don't know. I did avoid liver for a long time, and most organ meats actually. I thought organ meats were a bit gross, but I have since had them, and they're alright. I had pigeon heart when I was it Taipei? No, it was Beijing. Bangkok. No, Bangkok. Bangkok. I think it was in Bangkok. I ate the heart of a pigeon. I don't recommend it. There's not a lot of flavor, and it's just kind of rubbery and dry, and ugh. I mean, it wasn't gross, but it wasn't worth eating. Pineapple chicken and barbecue pizza sauce. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't like... I think it's the pineapple texture more than anything else is wrong. Like, I love sweet and sour. And sweet and sour pork is one of the very few dishes that I like cooked pineapple in. But on a pizza? No. Just doesn't belong. Having a skelly spawner really changes the Minecraft world a lot, doesn't it? Bone, yeah. Yeah. Having access to a skelly spawner just it makes a big difference, doesn't it? Yeah, that feels pretty decently randomized. I usually am that way, but for some reason avocado, just something about it. There are a lot of things I would say that are odd. I would try. Do you, I mean, yeah, I don't, I'm trying to imagine what would turn you off about avocado. I mean, it can't be the looks. It looks kind of like a green pear. The flesh itself is sort of this tasty looking lime green stuff. It doesn't really smell. The texture's a lot. Well, I mean, no, it's just a sort of soft, creamy texture. There's nothing really that odd about it. It might be a little softer and creamier than you're expecting from a fruit, because it looks like it would eat like a pear, but they don't quite eat like a pear. Yeah. My dad once told me that cow testicles are food. Yeah. In fact, there's a whole mini mission. There's a whole side mission in Far Cry 5 about harvesting cow testicles for a testy festy. They have a testicle festival where the whole thing is eating cow balls. Sorry, bull balls, I guess, not cow balls. That would be a bit weird. Yeah, I know in, I guess, India, sheep's testicles are considered a delicacy. Obviously, they don't tend to eat cows over there, considering quite a lot of them think cows are holy animals, so eating their balls might be a bit off the table. But sheep are fair game, apparently. The only thing that turns me off about avocado is the pit is so big. How is that a turn off though? I mean, it's not hard to deal with. There's still plenty of flesh in an avocado. I mean, apricots have a pretty big pit too, but they're fucking amazing. Oh man, I could murder an apricot right now. But I can't! Too much sugar. Not allowed to have all that sugar and keto. Too many carbs. Carb party! That's the only thing I do miss to any great extent on the keto diet is fruit. I don't eat that much fruit usually, but now that I know I can't have it, I'm not allowed to have it, you know, I start craving it. Mangoes and nectarines and oranges and bananas. I dream about them. Football sticks was referred to as Colorado. Yeah, there was a few, like in Far Cry 5, there was, I think they used every euphemism and side name for them possible. Prairie oysters, I think they called them. And yeah, all kinds of stuff like that. It was pretty funny. The mission to actually harvest the bull testicles is fun too, because it wanted you to kill 3 bulls in 3 different ways. And it was, yeah, pretty fun mission. It's one of the earlier ones you do, actually, or one of the early ones I did. I guess you don't have to do it that early, because it's a Far Cry game, and you can do those side missions in however you like. But I did it fairly early on, because it was one of the missions I was told to do when I had my early access pre-release preview thing at Ubi's offices. So hands up in chat who's excited for New Dawn, Far Cry New Dawn. I am. I'm actually playing it right now. Well, not right now, but I have a I got the hookup on a pre-release download code from Ubi, review code basically. Not quite sure what content I want to make about it, but I do want to put something up for release day. I might do like the first 15 minutes of play, or do the first hour but edit it down or something. I don't know. I'm enjoying it though. I'm not allowed to tell you anything about it, NDAs and such, but I'm enjoying it. Rocky Mountain Oysters, that was the one, yeah. Rocky Mountain Oysters, that was what they called the bull testicles. Maybe some of the guacamole. That's not how you spell it, but I know what you mean. Not sure if I'm spelling that right. No, you're not. Not even close. It reminds me of wasabi, which turns me off. I mean, yeah, it has a very similar texture to wasabi, but it tastes entirely different. And I love wasabi. It's a pity it's so hard to get the real stuff. The imitation wasabi that's served pretty much everywhere, unless you see it grated in front of you, it's probably the imitation stuff. Just horseradish with green colouring, basically, is fine. But once you've had real wasabi, you just... it's so different. I mean, horseradish and wasabi are from the same family, so they both have that sort of spicy, peppery taste. But the main difference is wasabi is a lot more subtle. It hits the nasal cavity very fast and then dissipates, so it hits you like a wave. It goes whoosh. Whereas the horseradish and the imitation stuff just sits there and just gives you that burn, that long steady burn kind of feel. But yeah, real wasabi just sort of, it's like breathing. It's wonderful. Never gone into Far Cry games? I never did until played a bit of 3, but it was 5 that really caught me. I really enjoyed 5. I didn't play the prehistoric one, whatever that was called. I thought that was just a stupid idea. But I did get the hookup on a code for 5 from Ubisoft. So I played it, you know, there was no barrier for entry there. And of course I got the pre-launch media preview session as well, which gave me a taste of it, so it took away a lot of the friction for me actually even trying it in the first place. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And from the preview I had so far of Far Cry New Dawn, I'm not talking about the full game review code I've got, but the preview event I had, it doesn't seem as funny as Far Cry 5 was. But mechanically, and the systems they got in play, and the sort of crafting and light RPG stuff they've baked into it as well, I feel like it's going to be an even more satisfying game to sink into. Guacamole. Yeah, guacamole is one of those. It is a tough word to spell because it is a Spanish word in origin, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's Spanish in origin. It's certainly used quite a lot in Mexican cooking. I am out of dark prismarine. That's right, it's only the top of the arm. We could probably finish up without it. Plug some in later. But we are going to need some more to make any progress on this stuff that we will see from the ground level. Cool. That is one arm fully complete, basically, isn't it? Let's go sleep away this dreary night and take a good look at our progress here. Maybe it's something with my autism. Yeah, could be that too. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Looks a bit imposing, doesn't it? It's going to look a bit better once we get the head on there to give it some sense of scale and purpose. But yeah, the foreshortening seems about right. Pikachu says, recently I was playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu when I found a shiny muck. Nice. And when I got ready to catch it, realized I had no Pokeballs. Oh no! That's always the worst, isn't it? Luckily, I haven't had that happen to me yet, but I've heard many stories. Hey, you see that up there? Although yeah, his arms do look kind of short on the model, don't they? Huh. I think we about nailed it, actually. They do look kind of short from here, but when you look at these guys up close, his arm did look kind of short. Oh, that's right, I forgot. We switched out the sugarcane for bamboo to test whether this machine would work. It certainly does. Forgot we did that. Yeah, see? His arms do look shorter than you think they are, aren't they? That's not a bad match. I feel good about that. Once we fix up his shirt, make it look proper and everything, but yeah. Not bad. Right. Yeah, no dark prismarine. No black dye. Alright, so nope, okay. Let's just dump some of this in the temp chest here. Just so I feel good about my inventory state again. And I guess we have to go hunting for some dye. There's a squid down there. Get out. Oh, 3 squid. Nice. What have I got on this sword right now? Makes short work of squid, doesn't it? Oh, sharpness 2. Actually, no, it's not that good of a sword. It is about to break, though. I have to watch that. Oops, left some ink behind there. Why did the hype die down for Let's Go and also Spider-Man? Well, Spider-Man died down rapidly because it's a narrative game, and once everyone's played through it, there's not a lot to take you back to it, especially if you did what I did and platinumed all the trophies and stuff. And Pokemon Let's Go died a slower death, but it always was a stopgap game. It always was a quick and easy stopgap games to give them more time to work on the big game we're supposed to be getting. It's just a remake and didn't need that much work. That said, it was way more polished than any of us expected it to be. So let's not discount it too much. But yeah, it's... And, you know, there's only the original 151 to catch. So there's not a lot of deep post-game in completing the Pokédex. That's fairly straightforward. Especially with being able to transfer stuff from Pokemon Go. But I mean... It was never going to be the next big deal for Pokemon. I'm glad we got it. Because it's better than a year without Pokemon. But yeah, it was never going to be the next big thing. We all knew it was just a stopgap. Yeah, I definitely think we need more brown concrete. That's too randoed. We need to make brown the base and just sprinkle in the other stuff. Post game was pretty meh, and let's go. I thought, yeah, not a super strong post game. I do have bookmarked here somewhere a kind of to-do list of all the possible things you can do in the Let's Go games, and I think we might use that when we finally get around to the Let's Go Pikachu playthrough we're going to do on stream. Just to give us some sort of extra goals and things like that. Sort of, it includes all the different in-game trades you can do with the various NPCs and all the hidden bits and pieces and, you know, all the usual stuff. So we might go through that and sort of super duper 100% Pikachu. Let's go Pikachu, whatever it is. Oh crap! I need Prismarine shards. I thought we could make it from Prismarine. Okay, I need shards. Don't have that many shards. This could be an issue. Let's go to the farm. Let's see how many we've got stacked up. Probably not that many because I've spent bugger all time there. Wait, did I even... Seriously? How did you get up there? You can't spawn up there. How did you get up there? Bedrock. Alright, where are we? Another fort, Skilly Farm, Ocean Monument. Looks good stuff. Yeah, it's coming together. I'm starting to like the mix of materials. Once we get his second arm built, we'll do the clothing, then the head. I think once we get the shirt done, it's going to look pretty good. But unless we have a whole bunch of Prismarine shards over at the farm, that might have to wait. Or at least building the second arm and head will have to wait. We can work on the shirt some more. But without enough dark prismarine, I'm kind of burned. Man, I forgot how far away this thing was. Oh, that was a weird glitch. The wall disappeared there for a second. Scary. I thought it was going off an edge. And I was just talking about my disappointment not catching a shiny muck. But if they let you transfer Let's Go Pokemon to the next main series, Yeah, I don't know whether they're going to do that. It would sort of drop the value of them, wouldn't it?
Hi, I'm Mr. Booby Buyer. I'll buy those boobies for 25 schmeckles.
Ha 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 ha.
All right. I wasn't going to say anything because for a second there I thought you guys might have forgot you like to do this to me. But never mind. Back we go to the graveyard so we can put up Jamet's new cube. Because that's how we do around here. Makes for better comedy at my expense. As soon as I said, oh, I forgot how far away this thing was, I had just the sinking feeling that was going to happen. I think Ray's still enjoying the bath, so it kind of had to be you, didn't it? Already had PayPal lit up when you said that. Just waiting over the button. Oh, you can see the portal from here. Boop. Yeah, ever since Twitch brought in that low latency stuff, it's really made this quite a lot harder, hasn't it? You guys can time that shit perfectly now. Oh, it's such a long way. It's so far away, just walking there used up a haunch of meat. Of hunger bar. When you were doing the Guardian Farm Classic? Oh yeah. The Tree Farm back in the second Java world was pretty good too. That went on for a while. It took me 8 hours just to get a simple tree farm built. Alright, Gem's 5.5, $10. Thank you ever so much for the troll cash. Wait. Need to put it to the wrong grave again. Boink! That was before I knew you. Yeah. Yeah, that predates even your trolling, that one. Thank you. We should probably grab some more steak on our way back through. Didn't realize how low we were. Really? I must have left it all at the cow farm, unless I don't have any more. First MC stream I saw was when you found the Ocean Monument Minecraft Switch with all the sponges. Oh yeah, that was a good day. So many sponges. Hey. Look up, up, up. Bum, 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 bum. Right, turn around again. Look, you just... Stop it. You don't belong here. Yummy. Room temperature water. So delicious. Especially if the room temperature is 24 degrees Celsius. I like how it casually said this. Yeah, just a little flick of the button. Their lives are over. My favourite MC stream of yours, methinks? The sponge room one? Yeah. It's a pity that one happened before I got in the habit of actually recording all my streams. That moment is basically gone forever. So I have repurchased Anthem, by the way, for those of you who didn't see the video that went up last night of my time. Decided to pull the trigger. Hi, guy. How you doing? Cheesy Tots, how you doing? Oh, right. I don't think I ever finished building this farm, did I? I was still experimenting. Oh, man. Alright. I cleared it all out. I was still experimenting with the mechanics. Oh, this is going to make this real tough. I have to manually harvest all the prismarine shards that I need. Fucking hell, send him flying. See the salmon spawn? Just... Yeah, I want none of your shit there, creeper. Alright, so I might have to do this off stream. Just sit here tonight and murder a living crap ton of these things. But we still can keep working today. We still need to make the brown shirt. And if we get done with that with time to spare, there's always the slime farm to get ticking on, or the village. Yeah, alright. Alright. That's a shame. Come here, come here. Hey, dolphin. Mr. Mrs. Streamer, you decimated the monument? Must have. Ah! 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 The hell? Hey, Duckus. Yeah, stream's going not bad. Stream's going not bad. Never get too comfortable. Don't worry, no need to worry about me. I'm to 16 for that, but just a warning. Yeah, I can't remember how long it took us to just estimate that ocean monument. We did do it in, I think it was a single stream. that's another reason I don't like Bedrock, by the way. The spawn mechanics for the ocean monuments are so... I mean, they're not difficult to understand. The critters spawn in set blocks, basically. If you measure it out, you can make a farm out of it. It's just not as straightforward and simple and sensible as the Java spawning mechanics for the ocean monument. Alright, don't need another fort, don't need any lava. I don't think I need anything else while I'm over here, so let's go back. Do you ever want to join the Spawn Wave cast? No idea. What's the Spawn Wave cast? Duke says, I've joined the ranks of people who don't have PS4. Oh, yours broke down yesterday. Oh, shit. Did it just stop turning on, or is it some sort of intermittent weird thingy, or... That sucks. That sucks big time. I'm kind of lucky that if any of my consoles break down, I have a spare one of everything. I got that second Switch that I got at the Amazon Prime Day sale for a crazy good price. Oh, which reminds me, I now have... where's my cam? I now have one of these things, little... I forget what they're called in the thing, but that's designed to short out the pin so you can go into the recovery mode and start hacking the Switch and things like that. So I'm going to start toying around with that. Finally got around to getting one. But I have the launch PS4 and Xbox, which are now sitting idle as backups because I later bought the 4K versions of both those consoles. So I have, 1080p backup versions of those. It's ridiculous. I shouldn't have so many consoles. But I can't bring myself to get rid of them. I still have my Wii. I have no idea whether it still works. It hasn't been packed well. It's sitting in a gym bag, basically, underneath a pile of crap. Spawn Wave has a weekend show. Yeah, that's... Oh, wait. No, yeah, no, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah, no, I don't think that guy likes me. He got really pissy at me at one point because we disagreed about something, and suddenly he no longer turned up in my comment sections, and I don't know whether he unsubscribed or he just doesn't comment anymore, but yeah. We disagreed about... I can't even remember what the fuck it was, but yeah, he got real pissy at me for something. What am I doing here? What am I doing? I am trying to make Dark Prismarine is what I'm doing. Wait, did I not... I got no Prismarine shards. I only got crystals. I got absolutely 0 Prismarine shards then. That sucks. Didn't even notice that. No, I got 6. I got 6. That's pathetic. Alright then. I guess I'll just have to do a lot of grinding on that off stream. Lame. Well, I guess we can still keep building with this stuff and just knock in the dark stuff later. Yeah. We can just go back through and poke some holes and throw some dark stuff back in once we get some. That's fine. That's acceptable. We can do that. It was, oh yeah, that's right. It was that one of the first little mini docks for the Switch. That was what he got all bent out of shape about. Can't remember why, but that's what it was about. Yeah, a little Kickstarter mini dock or whatever it was. Yeah. But yeah, little Mr. Spawnwave never spoke to me again since then. Any real game I wish I could have completed before my peaceful breakdown was Persona 5. I really should try that out one day. Everyone keeps talking about it. Third-party mini Switch dock? Seriously? Yeah, seriously. Alright. Can I please? Thank you. How deep did I make this again? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. People seem to get buttered after a single disagreement. So, yeah. Well, not people. Millennials. Millennials have been taught since day one that they're super special and it's you know, they get rewards for everything. So anytime anybody challenges them, and I'm sorry you millennials who are watching and take this personally, but that's kind of proving my point if you do. Yeah, they don't deal with arguments very well. They take everything super personal and just get real piss pants about it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just reach it. But yeah, I mean, you see it happen over and over and over again. Just learn to get over shit, millennials. It's okay. It's perfectly fine to not agree about everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, hey, pat on the back. Pat on the back for this guy.
I demand a participation trophy.
Well, you have one. You've got that like a shiny little badge in chat for your tier 1 sub. I'm a project manager. Can't afford to get personal with people. If you want shit done on time, exactly. Yeah. We'll get up see for people spending complete lies. Well, I mean, there's only so much you can do about other people's ignorance. Some people are just willfully ignorant. There is stuff out there they could read and learn to cure their own ignorance. They refuse to because they prefer to walk around with whatever opinion they're carrying because political ideals, or it's just what they want to believe because they're contrarians and they prefer being on the outside or something. It's just people's attitudes is weird. Oops. No one should have to agree with everything to be friends with someone. No. It's actually better if you disagree. If you agree with every single thing and all the same things, then what the fuck have you got to talk about? I mean, I spend a great deal of time with my friends. We talk about, well, very often how we feel about, like, TV shows, for example. Oh, what did you think of that episode of Gotham? Well, I thought this, and I hated this character. Well, I thought this and this and this. And if you all agree on the same things, then that discussion goes nowhere. It's like, yep, I liked it. Yep, I liked it too. Hooray for us! But if you disagree about something, then you can talk about it. Explore other ideas and opinions and grow as a person. People who seek out what they call echo chambers, places on social media where everyone is sharing the same opinion about the same subject. And it happens a lot in activist groups and political groups and things like that. They never seek out the other side of the argument. So they get stuck in these little echo chambers and have anything that they believe reinforced, which feels good because, yeah, I believe this, and these people believe this, and those people believe this. That belief must be right. I am righteous in my belief because all of these people believe the same thing. Yeah, that's cool. But you have to remember that all of the people used to believe that the Earth was flat, and Galileo came along and said, actually, no, it's round. I'm going to sail around it and stuff, and then he got put under house arrest, basically, because they didn't want to examine their own opinions. Always, always seek out other opinions. Otherwise, you're a fucking idiot, and you're doomed to stay a fucking idiot for the entirety of your life. The Anthem is a good example of that. Most of you know I've been back and forth on Anthem. I've tried it in the private alpha and the VIP demo and the open demo, and my opinion on it's flip-flop back and forth. Am I going to get it? Is it good? Is it crappy? Is it going to be ruined by EA? Are the servers crap? And someone got on my tits on the video I put up last night. Oh, so you can't make up your mind? So you flip-flop your decisions? So you can't stick to an opinion? Well, yeah. That's the purpose of an opinion. If you get different experience, learn new things, and you don't allow it to change your opinions, you're a fuckhead. That's the point of learning new things. Perhaps it changes your opinions. The photo thing is back now. I'm still not convinced people actually believe that. I kind of feel like it's some sort of deep troll. I cannot possibly believe people genuinely believe the Earth is flat. I still think it's just some sort of contrarian thing. They're just saying that because they know it gets under people's skin. It's like when someone comes into this stream when I'm playing Minecraft. Oh, you're still playing Minecraft? Who still plays Minecraft? Well, you came to a Minecraft stream just to try and get a rise out of me. Who's the better person here? I should have bought ladders. Oh, actually, I should be sprinkling some dirt into this as well, shouldn't I? Haven't been paying attention. Been too busy on my little spiel. There we go. Right, do I have letters? I do have letters. Nice, sweet. I thought I put them away. Now, can I put letters while going down them? I don't think I've ever tried that before. Nope, nope. That's right. We'll have the next time. Ugh. Hate when Minecraft does that. Your opinion matters. So it's not derogatory of the person. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily invalid to have an opinion that hurts someone else's feelings. Like, I think Nazis are a piece of shit. They might take that personally. I think white supremacists are assholes. And they'd be like, oh, fuck you. I'm not the asshole, you're the asshole. You brown person lover. Grr. But I know what you mean. There's so many people in my school that hate it when I show disagreement. Can't get the amount of times people have made fun of me for playing Minecraft. Yeah. And even Fortnite. There are stories I've read about kids being teased because they don't want to play Minecraft. Fortnite. It's become such a cultural zeitgeist that if you don't play Fortnite and you're like a tween and stuff, you're like a social outcast. It's so dumb. Nein, Swinland! I've been watching Man in the High Castle recently too. I've just got through the whole 3 seasons that are currently available. Not as good as that show was made to be. Like, the amount of hype it got, just didn't live up to it. It's got some nice characters that work, but as a TV show, it's obviously been designed by committee as a binge watch show, because barely anything ever happens. And you have to keep watching and watching and watching and watching and watching and watching and watching for anything to actually progress to any interesting state. That's one of the things I hate most about some shows these days. They are designed for binge watching, not to be good at storytelling. Right, do I need any fresh? I should get more dirt. And I'll grab a bit more of this on my way through as well. And it looks like I am all out of concrete. So let's turn a couple of these concrete powders. I'm not using that much of the powdered stuff, so let's turn 2 more stacks of this into brown. I want to be unique just like everyone else, yeah. That's what always made me laugh about goths. Like old school 90s goths, like when I was in high school and stuff. And South Park do a really, really, really good job of mocking these guys. They're like sort of, you know, don't be like everyone else. We all should dress the same. Wasn't aware there were 3 seasons of Man in the High Castle? Yeah. They're all on Amazon videos where I was watching them. It's a good show, but yeah, it's just very, very slow, and for no good reason other than to try and keep people binge watching. It's worth sticking with though, because there is some really lovely character work and development and stuff. It's much more of a character-based show than it is story, and it took me a while to really get to grips with that, because it feels like it should be telling a really cool story about what if the Nazis won, but it's not actually about that. It's about how would people get on with their lives if the Nazis won. But yeah, it's got some great performances in there, though. And I've never read the source material for Man in the High Castle, but my understanding is the Amazon show is a long way from the book. Oh wait, did I only do 1 stack? Oh, that'll do for now. Alright, where are we? This was filmed at the roof for me. Good not just not very done. Well, I don't know. It is done well. It's just not done in the way I wanted it or expected it to be done. But yeah, it's I do feel like I wanted to focus a lot more on storytelling and world building than just the character stuff. Wait, that doesn't need to be there because this is the inside of the arm. And let's not forget to have some raggedy bits. One time a goth called me Edge because my sense of humour. Not saying I'm not, but hypocritical when you change your name to Raven. That's fickle. That said, I had a few goth friends when I was in high school and college and stuff, and they were perfectly good people. And I used to go to a goth nightclub because I really enjoyed the music they played, as opposed to most nightclubs of that period, which was all hip hop and pop music and just crap, basically. Yeah, the goths kind of evolved into emos over time. Emo was kind of diet goth. I never had much respect for emos. Except for the general fashion. I kind of, I was too old for it by the time it became a thing. But I did like the kind of emo fashion stuff a little bit. Kind of that goth light stuff, not quite so goth hardcore, but still kind of a bit edgy and cool and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to need more brown concrete. I should probably not do it up here because I'll wind up accidentally turning some of the other concrete. I can do it probably over here. And that way the water won't accidentally turn into the other powder I've placed. And the Eddies who had mods. Yeah. Why do they make shows for binge watching? Why not make a movie? Well, because a season of a show is much, much longer than a movie. And it's just the economics of subscription services these days, which means binge watching is good for business. Hey, Pooks, how you doing? One sleeve is longer? Yeah, one sleeve is longer by design. It's actually that way on the default skin. If you Google for Microsoft's drowned skin, and you find the default skin, you'll see that one sleeve is longer on that as well. That was absolutely deliberate. Remember Eugenia Cooney? Not even slightly. Who was that? Oh, missed a spot. How did I manage that? Alright, you took 15 minutes long to start your stream for my nap. I had to nap in relative silence. Wait, what? You took 15 minutes too long to start your stream. I started the stream at the regular time, 9 AM. Oh, look out! I got another rando who thinks it's still groovy to do the dad thing. Man, didn't that die off years ago? Way to cling on to old memes, kid. Never let them go. Never let old memes die. You can do it. You can keep it alive. Do it. Do it, Doug. Do it. Could only make it 8:45. No willpower. That's your problem, Pooks. You're all like, look at me, I can sleep. I'm not an insomniac. What's that like? What's that life like? I think I'm done up here, so I can... Nice catch! Yeah, I think we'll build the arm out using the 2 materials we have left, and when we get more dark prismarine, we'll just come back and knock a few bits in here and there. I look like Nazi propaganda. How so? I'm hardly the Aryan ideal. I mean, you know, I'm of Scottish descent, but there's some Spaniard in me. God knows what else. Were you here when we were just talking about Man in the High Castle? Is that why you're trying to make Nazi jokes, or is this just some sort of wild coincidence? Because that's crazy. It's crazy if you didn't... Shush. Quiet, you. Show me your bow. That's a pretty nice bow. Wait, is that... No, that's my bow. I was going to say, that looks a lot like my bow. What's your bow? I'm breaking? Psh, fuck it. You remind me of Joseph Stalin. In what way, exactly? Did you know him well? Is he a friend of yours? Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the old person joke. Oh, they try so hard, don't they, guys? They try so very hard to be edgy. All they wind up doing is just falling into the same old, generic, parroted insults. Can never think up anything original because they're just too dumb. They're just too dumb. Oops, daisy. It's cute in its own way. It is, really. I wouldn't mind, I mean, if they could ever come in with something original, it'd be so much more fun. But they always say the same stuff. There's no original thought. The true skill and fun in insulting someone is being creative about it. What's the point otherwise? You're just being a dick for the sake of being a dick? What's that life like? Oh, there goes the racial insults. Oh, look at that. We'll just have to go over here. And doop. Ban user. And then we go ahead and report for, let's see, hateful conduct. It's racist slurs. Enjoy Twitch's zero tolerance policy on that kind of crap. Hope you're not too attached to that account. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. What a shame. What a super duper shame. They couldn't be smarter. Let's see. Yeah, let's just build out the shaft. Oh, wait a second. How did you follow? Oh, I accidentally timed you out instead of actually blocking you. Whoops-a-daisy, that was my bad. Let me go ahead and ban you properly. Click the wrong button. Never mind. I was like, how did he manage to get a follow if he's blocked? Weird. See, this is why I'm not playing Division today. Whoop! Ow. And that too. Adjusting to the keto diet has left me a bit lethargic, and my coordination is not particularly sharp at the moment. Hit the timeout button instead of the ban button, fall off the edge of the thing. Yeah, I did try to get back into some more Division last night, but I just, yeah. Until my body adjusts properly to the new dietary situation here, I'm just a bit floopy. Got many of the floopy dupes. Cyblo, how you doing there? Wait, did I go too far? Has science gone too far? Or not far enough? I think that's about right. Should probably count. That's close enough. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Oh, hang on a sec. He's already trying it. Had a feeling. Too slow. You only got up to the first G. Yeah. Let's all pretend to be shocked that that idiot had a sock account. They always have sock puppets. Sad little men. Oops, that was way too far. He was trying to try. Yeah, he was playing Wheel of Fortune on South Park. That's it. Oh, naggers. People who really annoy you. Yeah, I should go get that Dark Prism block. It's like my last one, or second to last. Whee! Too precious. I'm pretty sure I got the length right. Length's right by eyeball. That's all that counts. So South Park is surprisingly hilarious. It's, you know, you think because it looks so crude and a lot of the language is so crude and the jokes are kind of base, but more often than not, they do some really fucking clever stuff and just tear shit to shreds in just a really thoroughly enjoyable way. It's more of that clever trolling I was talking about before, you know? It's crude and it's base, but it's smart in how it does it. Is your playthrough of the Fractured Butthole on YouTube? Haven't seen anything of that game before. I don't know. Did I? I feel like I did record it. I don't remember whether I ever uploaded it. I might not have. I wonder how the YouTube censorship algorithm would react to that. It's a damn good game, though. As a turn-based strategy RPG style game, it's surprisingly good. Some of the puzzle stuff was real good too. I think I liked the first one a bit more, although the combat system was better in the second one, I believe. Kirby says, I kind of love dabbing and T-posing. It's so awful that I love it in any game I can do it in. I've kind of softened on the whole dabbing thing over time. I used to just make my eye twitch with its cringiness. But I think we're so far beyond it being cool now. It's kind of just funny in its own right. Just because it is cringy by design. I don't turn away and deep sigh when I see someone do it anymore. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's not that anymore. It's just like, idiot. Casa Bonita, yeah. Alright, I better go sleep the night away. Is the water off the edge of this? Nope, nope. Oh, nailed it. That's what you call a leap of faith right there. Where's a haystack when you need one? Oh yeah, you see they're releasing a remake or a... What are they calling it? Remaster, I think they're calling it. Of, I think it was the third Assassin's Creed game? Assassin's Creed 3. Well, not the third one, but Assassin's Creed 3. The one with 3 in it, but it's not actually the third one. It's like the 5th one. Or something. What? Oh, you... Oh, look! Big drowned blag is providing just enough shade to keep this guy out of the sun. That's kind of... I like that, actually. It's like Big Brother protecting little guys. But only just enough so I can do this. Not my remasters, dude. Yeah, I know. But again, much like Pokemon Let's Go, it's kind of a seems like a quick and easy thing just to give them more time to work on whatever new game is in the series next. And now that they've sort of started to step away from trying to release one of them every fucking year, maybe the quality will go back up again. Not that I'm a big fan of Assassin's Creed in general. I've never got it in... I've tried several of them, but none of them have ever managed to grab me. But I don't think any of them have been quite as successful as Black Flag. Have they? I did quite like the one set in London, whatever that one was with the... what was the name of the damn thing? Kind of like the combat in that. The brother and sister team. Added some brutal animations in it. Remasters / ports are lazy crash grabs. Well, yes. But it's also nice for people who love those series to be able to play it again on a modern engine with a much cleaner graphical look. I mean, for example, Pokemon Let's Go was basically not much more than a remake of Pokemon Yellow, but with all the modern joys and benefits of 3D graphics and, you know, all the modern niceties that we have these days that just didn't exist or weren't invented or couldn't be implemented in a Game Boy game, things like that. I'm not against remakes, but a lot depends on how well they're done, how quickly they are done, if they're too close to the original release, or is it literally them trying to benefit the fandom by bringing back something that's difficult to play these days because the system that it was native to is rarer and rarer, or things like that. It's, you know. I don't really see Let's Go as a remaster because turning Pokemon Yellow into fully animated 3D games is a huge... I mean, yeah, but it is basically a remake / remaster kind of deal because it doesn't tell a new story. Not really. It didn't really change the basics of that game. The map is basically exactly the same. The progress is basically exactly the same. The antagonists are exactly the same. Their drives and impetus are exactly the same. It's just, you know, it is a fancier remake than we're perhaps used to, but it is absolutely a remake. Oops. Too far there. I'm probably alone in this, but I'm not against the Wii U ports on Switch either. No, me neither. A lot of people, like the Wii U, sold very, very poorly as hardware, in large part because of the confusion of the name and the very, very poor marketing communication from Nintendo trying to... People didn't understand that it was an entirely new console. They thought it was some sort of weird little add-on for the Wii. And it was a very, very expensive add-on, so they didn't bother looking at it. It's just, oh, well, there's a new thing for my Wii? Oh, it costs how much? Fuck that. It was very, very bad launch. Very poorly communicated to the general public who, you know, don't keep up on the video game stuff like we do. And so a lot of people didn't play some of these fantastic games that were on the Wii U. And so giving them a second chance, a second bite at the apple on Switch, I think is a great thing. And the sales of these games and the critical response to these games as ports to the Switch demonstrates that. Like, the response has been fantastic. And all these games people didn't play because they didn't have a Wii U, or they didn't want to invest in the Wii U system. Like, I'm like that. There were several games on the Wii U that came out, and I was just like, the Wii U is already a dead system as far as I'm concerned. I can already see the writing on the wall. I am not going to invest any money in games for it. I'm going to wait for them to come elsewhere, or I'm not going to bother with them, or I'm going to buy them on a different system, or all that kind of stuff. So having those games have a second chance at life and a chance to recoup the development costs, I think is a very good thing. People are giving Nintendo excuses for not making anything new. Are you kidding? Nintendo constantly make new stuff. Just because they also remake stuff doesn't mean they don't make new stuff. You have any idea how many innovations in the video game industry Nintendo are responsible for? 3D platforming was basically invented by Nintendo. They're the guys who figured out how to do it properly with Mario 64. You play any 3D platformer that existed before Mario 64, it's a catastrophe of miserable control. And Nintendo are all over that. Like it's just there's so many things, both good and bad, that Nintendo are responsible for. Motion control, of course. Nintendo brought into the mainstream, which I don't love them for. But occasionally it's implemented quite good, especially on the Switch. The motion controlled aiming in Breath of the Wild, for example, just worked really well. But yeah, there's tons of stuff that Nintendo have done and invented that have made gaming a better thing. The D-pad, going all the way back. Bringing analog sticks back to video gaming. That was Nintendo 64. If you were there back in the day, you saw how quickly PlayStation panicked. Oh shit! Oh shit! Analog. Analog is how you do 3D games. That's how you control. You need analog sticks. Oh fuck! We fucked up. Oh, here's a DualShock. Got 2 analog sticks. Yeah, yes. They wouldn't have done that unless Nintendo did Mario 64 and went, okay, here's how it works. Here's how you do a 3D platform with camera control. I need more Prismarine stuff. All my friends played on PS1, N64 was just a side thing. It was the other way around for me. N64 was, I guess, because most of my friends liked like Pokemon Coliseum and shit like that. But I also spent a lot of time on the PlayStation 1, or just the PlayStation back in the day it was called, of course. Tekken 2, Tekken 3, Point Blank. I spent a lot of time playing those. Crash Bandicoot, of course. Of course, Crash Bandicoot. So much Crash Bandicoot. So much Crash Bandicoot. The number of games on PS1, the quality is vast, but I don't know about that. I think the best games on Nintendo 64 are better than the best games on PlayStation. As games. They might have looked worse. They might have sounded a bit worse, but they were better games. But yeah, there's no... Oh, hey. Right, I forgot to put torches down. There's no arguing that the library on PlayStation was vastly more varied and larger. But more isn't always better. Goodbye split screen. Yeah. I was one of the few that really liked the GameCube as well. I had a lot of game time on GameCube. Of course, that had a lot to do with the fact that at the time, I couldn't afford to also own a PlayStation 2 or an Xbox. I chose GameCube as my primary gaming device. And I only regretted it once or twice with certain games that never came to the GameCube, or the GameCube version was inferior for whatever reason. Usually storage space. Wasn't paying attention there. Never forgive GoldenEye for making FPS console. Yeah. Well, I mean, did console? No, I think console port of Doom predates GoldenEye. I think GoldenEye was multiplayer FPS. That was the first console example of that, wasn't it? But yeah, no, Doom definitely predated it, because there was even a Doom for Super Nintendo. It was awful. You ever tried to play a first-person game with a thumbpad, and only a thumbpad? It was such a miserable experience, especially considering that I played it years before, obviously on a mouse and keyboard. Anyone who didn't enjoy GoldenEye? I didn't enjoy it. I hated the field of view. I hated the frame rate. Made me feel a bit crook every time I played it. I couldn't understand why all my friends were seeing in it. It ran so badly. And again, PC was my home for first-person games, so even back then, the battle was on. Doom on a console might have been the first, but it was still Doom. GoldenEye introduced the only two... Yeah, that's right, wasn't it? Yeah. GoldenEye was the first thing to give you sort of a limited arsenal. I never knew N64, but even I felt Nintendo's downfall started with the N64 when all third parties left and abandoned them. Well, I mean, it certainly changed things for them. They become much more focused on their first party stuff, which has benefited us because we got some amazing games out of that focus. You know what? I think I might like the patterning without the Dark Prismarine even better. Maybe I'll go back to the other arm and reduce the amount of Dark Prismarine in there. Side-scrolling platformers and RPGs are my jam. Yeah, I was never much into RPGs until Pokemon. And even then, Pokemon was the only RPG, or JRPG specifically. I did play some action RPGs for a long, long time. That was the only exception to my RPG rule. I was much more into arcadey shooters and racers and fighters and stuff like that in my younger days. Because frankly, I did grow up in video game arcades when video game arcades were proper video game arcades and not the prize machine monsters that they are these days. I keep forgetting I shouldn't have to sweat the top layer too much. We're barely ever going to see it. Don't have to worry too much about the patterning up here. Now Nintendo has this themselves, third parties don't even care about Nintendo. That's not even true. The Switch changed everything. Third parties have been flocking to that thing. Maybe not so much the super big AAA games, because quite frankly the Switch doesn't have the power. to do direct ports of a lot of that stuff. But there is a ton of software on the Switch that comes from third parties. Just acres and acres of it. Yeah, I think I'm going to reduce the amount of Dark Prism in that other arm. Not pull it back entirely, but much less, I think. Or maybe not, actually. From this distance, that does look very plain, doesn't it, compared to that? Maybe a little bit less, though. Yeah, I'll chew it over. Cough, Bethesda cough. I'm actually kind of surprised that Bethesda haven't ported some of their older games over to the Switch. Like Fallout 3. They have to... I guess they would have to kind of remake it with a new game engine so it could actually run properly, but I feel like some of those games would do well on Switch. Yeah, that's definitely too plain. We definitely do need the dark. Alright. Maybe slightly less, though. Yeah, let's go pare it back just a little bit. Am I still carrying? I'm still carrying those others. Still don't think third parties care about Switch. Well, you're demonstrably wrong. Just look at the Switch marketplace. You can see it for yourself, dude. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. The way this guy's arguing sounds very, very familiar. I think I know. Are you a repeat visitor by any chance? You've been to my channel before under a different username that I banned you for just trying to start stupid arguments? I think you are. Either that, you're uncannily similar. I gave you a very wide berth, if you are who I was thinking you of. I warned you many, many times. But eventually got sick of your shit and just banned you for just trying to stir up shit unnecessarily. But the type of shit you're saying, your general grammar, it feels familiar. Maybe even a little bit more. Yeah, these densest areas. Alright, let's go downstairs and collect what dark stuff we dropped there so we don't lose it. Suddenly goes silent. Yeah, noticed that myself. That's a little bit better. Not so aggressive. Could probably do with peeling these ones out too, but we'll leave it like that for now. Until we do the other arm and see how well it bounces. Oh, definitely, yeah. This side looks a lot better. Much lighter and sparser. Yeah. I'm actually pretty happy with that. How many did we save? 23. That's probably enough to start sprinkling in there, actually. Just so it doesn't look quite so odd. MQ, come here. 24. And we could take some from the top as well. Well, when I gave Izzy the mod sword, she was a little bit better behaved than she is recently. Don't know how many that was, but it felt like about 16 or so. Oops, did it again. Excuse me. Swap, please. Thank you. Too much. Let's leave that. Five more power, so we'll give them 10-second timeouts. Left to right, yep. And that's why you don't have them, Lumbertism. You cannot be trusted. Probably need some down low as well. There and there. That should at least make it look not quite so odd until I get better stocks of the dark stuff. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and reveal. Yeah, not nearly enough yet, is it? Definitely to maybe double what's there. But at least it's a start. And hey turtle, reveal. Yeah, not so bad. Mine. You're mine too. Well, let's go friends. I do have a little bit of super light green in it too. Just once or twice, don't I? Like moss. I guess we could use some green concrete. Maybe light green. Just here and there for that effect. Danger Book! Thank you very much for the 100 bitteroonies. I've been alright. I've been alright. Alright, by any chance do I have... No, I don't have lime green anything around here, do I? Maybe slime. But would that look weird because it's transparent? Also, I don't have much of it. Never mind. Alright, we do have some lime green. So let's make some lime green, maybe concrete powder. We'll slip it in here and there and see what that looks like. Because I feel like it needs a bit of a texture to it. It's going to be mossy. I think we need the texture of the powder. Yeah. Alright, let's just dig up a bit here so we have room to actually make some concrete. Put that there for safekeeping. Grab that. Okay. I'll have some of that. Some of that. And we'll make some of that. Let's make one stack of solid stuff. Yeah, wool's not a bad idea either. How do you make lime green? Green dye and white dye. Just like you'd imagine you would. It's Minecraft color science. Let's do this the smart way so I don't fall off again. Riffraff, hello there. The exclusive download drops all feel like they should be rare, but they're not at all. What? What game are you talking about? Because it's not this one. Did you type it in the wrong window or something? Or did I miss a bit of context somewhere in the chat? Something I do when I make concrete is making 4 stacks and sand water down the middle of them. Yeah, I've done that a few times as well. But I always find that placing the 4 seems to take up more time than just stacking straight up. Also mining back down them again. Oh, right. Sorry, I read that wrong. The exclusive drowned drops all feel like they should be rare, but they're not all. I mean, I think the Nautilus shell is about spot on. They do seem to drop an awful lot of tridents. I was a bit worried when they first announced tridents they'd be super hard to get. But it turns out if you have a zombie farm and you turn them into drowns, you get shit tons of them. And I never actually use them anyway. Gotta be real careful I don't go overboard with this, because there's not much on the actual... let's do this. Alright, let's see how we do. least you look where I'm going when I'm reading chat. Only Bedrock is still a pain in the ass in Java? Yeah. They are super aggressive in Java. Is there? Oh yeah, that adds just a little bit something, doesn't it? Just a little something something. I like it. Alright, let's do the other arm. Yeah, might do another one just up the corner here. Boing, boing, boing. Alright, don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Whoops! Missed the ladder by a little bit there. How are my boots doing? Doing fine. Alrighty. Let's go there. There, 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 there. Maybe a little bit there. To the outside corner here as well. That feels about right, at least from the inside. Maybe I'm one up here. One of each. Okay. Let's examine our work. Well, at least... Well, I was going to say these fell a long way, but this does overhang quite a lot, doesn't it? For the review. Yeah, might be a little too much. I'll let it settle. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to do some under the arm as well, but just for now, I'm just trying to figure out a distribution that I like. I feel like that's about right. Maybe a little bit too heavy, but it might just be because it looks different. Oh, Moobot's screaming at me to take a break. Alrighty. This should be safe enough to take a break in here. So let's go up top. Oh, the sun is going down, so this might be a little bit dangerous. Where's the sun? Alright, there we go. And like that. Alright, BRBs!